Hello, this is Chess, and this is Chesopolis, where I renovate The Sims every neighborhood and lot one at a time. Right now, we are rebuilding Willow Creek into New Orleans, and today we're doing a cemetery and church speed build. This particular cemetery is based off of Lafayette Cemetery. I was watching the originals, which, if you don't know what the originals is, it's a vampire show that is a spin-off of Vampire Diaries. We're the original family of vampires. It's all about them and their journey, if you will, about ruling over New Orleans, which is their quote-unquote home, in the States anyway. So the witches in the show are always in some way, shape, or form at Lafayette Cemetery. And so yeah, when I decided I wanted to do a cemetery build, that's the first thing I thought of. And I'm doing it in the Garden District. I'm not sure if Lafayette Cemetery is actually in the Garden District in New Orleans, but yeah, that's where I'm doing it in my build series. And I think it's kind of cool because I'm also going to be building a church within the same lot. And when you travel and things like that, I mean, there are churches in neighborhoods all the time, and I like the idea of, you know, this being a historical neighborhood, historical city, and, you know, you just might be the house that lives next to the cemetery. And that's the thing. Growing up, I remember walking to school. And yes, I would walk to school uphill both ways in snow and ice. And maybe not uphill both ways, but uphill one. And I definitely have slid down a hill with ice and fallen into bushes during the rain. And fun things like that growing up. But what you notice on the particular street that I would walk down in my not so big city was a funeral home, and it was a huge plantation style home. It was beautiful, literally right down the street from my high school and middle school, and people lived in it. And I'd never watched 6 Feet Under, you know. And I was like, how do people live in a funeral home? That's so weird. Like, what is it like to get up for the day and get ready for school? And so I always had that thought in the back of my head. And, you know, I've lived in neighborhoods where it's, you know, you're walking past churches too. And I just thought, well, I don't know where Lafayette Cemetery is, but it's going to be in the Garden District. Because I like the idea of the lot next to it will be a residential lot. Across from it is going to be a commercial lot. I'm making this a museum lot, considering its old situations. And yeah, now this church that I create is kind of a combination of churches I've seen. It's not based on a particular church. But it was a little bit of a challenge for me, just because I don't build things with turrets and castle-like things, and but it was really fun to do. It was just kind of a little tedious, as you can see me doing the half walls, just a smidge tedious. I had so much of the debug items and different items already set on this slot when I got here, because I wanted to have some of the things out that I was going to use, because it kind of got me in that vibe. But I love the idea that this church is on the corner, and even though we don't have freely walk around, free worlds, is that what they're called in The Sims 4, I do like that because I did player test this and play test this and, you know, having them walk around, and they're walking around the church and they're going in and they're looking at things, and there's bookcases in there eventually, so they do leave books everywhere, but it's kind of cool. And I couldn't quite get the ornateness I wanted to in terms of all the borders and things like that. I wish we had like really cool stained glass windows, like those windows I used from Strangerville. I wish that they had stained glass in them. Let me know in the comments if they do and I just totally missed it. But yeah, here I am just putting lots of ivy, and I put the gargoyles everywhere because I wanted it to feel kind of foreboding. It definitely has a very dark, creepy kind of church vibe to it. I do make it a haunted lot and make it a vampire nexus, even though it's a church, because they're supposed to, like, you know, go up into flames in a church, but it is what it is. And I couldn't quite get this pedestal to be the stage that I wanted it to, but I still managed to make it a stage in the best way I know how. That was different for me. I don't typically do stages. And then trying to get stairs there and make it look like a staircase. It was a whole lot. And yeah, I get more pedestals and kind of layer them for the effect. It's not quite my favorite, but I know I'll get better at different things as I go along. It's just not something I've really done, and I've always had a difficult time with stages, and I've usually given up on them. But I worked with that one for a while, and I'm really satisfied with how it turned out. So this church isn't a Catholic church or a Baptist church. It's kind of a mixture of the churches I've been in. You know, like you have the pews on the side of the stage for the choir, and I did red carpeting because, I don't know, every church I've been in either has like really red carpet or like blue carpet or something. I thought it was appropriate, especially with like everything being black and stone. I really wanted it to feel pretty old. Now here I am working in the office area and bathroom area, just kind of like trying to get the shapes right and things like that. But I do put a podium up there with the microphone, even though I know they can speak from the podium, but you know, in a regular church there is a microphone, or in a church this big, so that people can hear them. Then at the front I wanted to do like holy water and a Bible or something like that, and so I do end up changing the place where you would get the holy water, the bowl, but I changed that after video recording, just for aesthetic. And then I did wanted to do a whole bunch of candles up here and give it like a mood, but I didn't really like it, so I just kind of went with a couple candles, because those are menorahs, so they only light one candle, and then the candelabras, they just weren't giving me life, so I stuck with what I chose. And I kind of like this office for the reverend priest person, whomever that is. It's giving me like study vibes, you know, but I really like it because it's just like this little corner thing. It kind of reminds me of like Dumbledore's situation, except obviously very small, but the fact that you have to go up and it's kind of spirally, that is the only thing that's similar. And then I really like the bathroom. In the still shots you won't see the bathroom, but I do like that I put the stall in there. I feel like someone just plopped it in there, right? Like they're not trying to change the church, but just adding things to make it more modern. Yeah, just more and more ivy, lots of ivy. And then off camera I also add coffins in the crypt cemetery area, and doors, so that vampires can sleep there and be creepy and whatnot. And also because they're a mausoleum, above ground, you know, burial plots in essence. And I figured there would be coffins in there because dead people. So here I am just adding some more things. I do move a tree back, but yeah, soon here Let's see, we'll be getting to the still shots after I just do some decor, so this is where I leave you. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a great day.